problema din kung saan-saan, okay? Okay. Yung mga protest, etc., sorry ha, but to hell with them kung mali sila. Kung tama sila, may problema ka sa back, papalitan mo sila. Kasi hindi mawawala, negosyo yan eh. And may pera yung mga yan eh, di ba? And there are good pharmas, but there are pharmas, we know that. Doctors know that na grabe ang pera, di ba? But that's where kailangan ng konting, kung paano mo ako inaangasan last time at paano kita inaangasan last time, na may tama at may mali tayong dalawa, dapat ganun yung angas nyo sa mga nang loloko sa bidding sa inyo.
There being none, the rules are suspended to allow Secretary Albosa to respond directly. Senator Alan Cayetano is recognized, Majority Leader.
Magandang hapon po, Mr. Senate President, and I thank you for not only being here physically present several hours a day, but for your being on the ball on this budget. Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Pia, ang aking mahal na ate, thank you for being here the fourth time. Mr. Secretary, I also thank you for being here. Before that, may I express lang, Mr. President, that siguro umuwi kami ni Secretary the other night, parehong masama loob. But ako, hindi lang masama ng loob sa iyo, sa DOH performance mo, but sa sarili ko rin, because I am here to express not only the aspirations of our people, but also yung frustration. So if I was in any way disrespectful, that wasn't the intent. Siguro nga kasi sa budget hearing lang. So I won't elaborate kasi hindi ko naman alam mangyayari ngayong hapon. And if the Senate President will allow, I will, and remind me anytime, Mr. President, if I am not addressing my question to you, which is the proper procedure, and if the Secretary can do the same so that we can somehow maintain both our composure. There are certain questions that I wish you answer because of two things. I was former Speaker of the House and I was former Secretary of Foreign Affairs. There are certain things na nasa fingertips dapat natin yan. So like when I'm Speaker, I have to know how many congressmen meron. When are the session days? Did I attend this or that? Diba? But of course, if it's statistics, if I ask you certain things about the vaccines that obviously shouldn't be at the top of your head, just ask permission, may my staff pass me a note or anything. In fact, Senwin, di ba, nung bata tayong congressman, may index cards usually in departments eh. Tapos iaabot yun sa secretary. But again, di ba, for example, kung sobra ang delay every year ng procurement, you expect the secretary to talk to the back or to the USEC in charge to know it. Di ba? So kung may isa kang vaccine na delay o yung flu shot na delay, patatawagin mo sila to explain, I'll accept that. Pero kung 2-3 years na parating late, wala, delayed, and then hindi natin masagot, I'm not saying hindi nyo masasagot, of course, I'll ask you. I don't mind you having a computer. Obviously, you prepared today. But there are certain questions that are there. No? So, Mr. Secretary, siguro din para if it's a yes or no question, please give me a yes or no, then you can explain. Now, if it's not a yes or no question, just tell me that's not a yes or no question. Because by training, I am a lawyer. So kung hindi tayo mag-agree, for example, kung totoo o hindi yung no billing, I will ask you preliminary questions to lay the basis. Totoo ba na ito policy? Yes or... Kasi kung hindi yun ang policy, then no. Kung yun ang policy, yes. No? So anyway, Mr. President, with your permission, with the permission of the Secretary, we had, and of course, Senator Pia, we had a long discussion last year on stunting. And he even came to see me in my office, and I honor you for that. At sinabi mo mga may bagong programa, we will have some progress next year. And paulit-ulit ko sinasabi yung sinabi ng isa sa pinakamatalino. Tingin ko hindi naman siya pinakamatalino dahil si Solomon ang on record na wisest, but isa sa pinakamatalino sa ating mundo ay si Einstein. At sabi ni Albert Einstein, kung paulit-ulit nating ginagawa and we expect a different result, that is insanity. Or some sa Facebook say that's stupidity. So I don't want people to call the Philippine government, the Senate, the DOH as stupid if and in this case sa stunting hindi lang DOH to, this is a whole of government approach dapat. Pero kailangan may timon. So hindi pwedeng several years na almost 30% of our people, of our children are endangered of stunting. Tapos we just say nagdagdag pondo here or ganyan. So gusto ko lang sanang himayin yon. So I'll give you the first chance, Secretary. Can you say what you want about stunting and how we're addressing it, please, sir?
Thank you, Mr. President. For our stunting rates, when I came in, it was a very high 27%, and we're trying to lower it to at least 20%, 19%. The latest statistics show that we have some success. What we have done, what my predecessor has done, was actually to take on a World Bank loan called the Philippine Multisectoral Nutrition Project. It was a pilot project to use digitalization and to use different sectors, DSWD, DA, DOH, to actually address the problem of stunting in the Philippines. So that project is about to end. We are actually proposing a continuation of the multisectoral project. In fact, that project, nanganak na po, meron na rin yung Zero Hunger Coalition, yung DSWD. Kapartner po namin ang DSWD, Mr. President, in trying to lower stunting rates. So, ang idea here is that the Department of Health is able to address the people that are the children that are from the time of the womb, the first 1,000 days, all the way to 2 years old, magkaroon na sila ng proper feeding. So yung buntis pa lang, binibigyan na ng proper nutritions, micronutrients. So pag lumabas yung bata, mabigay lahat ng bakuna para hindi sila magkaroon ng sakit at lalong pumayat. And then dinagdag na rin namin yung programa on water, sanitation, and hygiene, because many kids, even if they're given proper nutrition, they end up with chronic diarrhea, which also leads again to stunting and weight loss. So yan po in-gist yung Mr. President, yung ating ginagawang programa for stunting in the Philippines.
Yes. Mr. President, of course, I recognize yung any success. No? I mean, hindi to parang sports na parang dati talo kami ng 30 points, ngayon talo na lang kami ng 20 points, talo ka pa rin. Dito, kahit hindi statistic, every single mother, every single child that is removed from the list na endangered, we appreciate that. No? Having said that, syempre, titignan natin kung may programa talaga that will get rid of or beat the stunting. No? Before that, Mr. President, I'd just like to acknowledge also Dr. Edwin Mercado and thank him for patiently going through with my staff certain things, making us understand better the process, and we'll go to that later, Mr. Secretary, yung PhilHealth, no? So, Mr. Secretary, linawin natin yung statistics sa stunting para klaro sa ating mga kababayan. So, yung endangered na stunting, ilan %? Or what are the categories of the statistics? Meron yung tinatawag na prevalence po, di ba?
Mr. President, we have the prevalence of stunting among children under 5, and this is a study all the way back to 1989, when we had figures as high as 44.5%. Today, it's now 17.9% stunting. So.
That's from what? My statistic
I'm sorry,
is 23%.
23.6.
23.6.
23.6. So the projection is to 17.9 by 2028, by the time this administration ends.
That will be great if that happens, no? But that's why we are asking questions now, so that pare-pareho tayong may confidence that yun yung trajectory, no? So yung prevalence, please define. So kasi yung endangered potential, klaro yon, di ba? So kung sasabihin mong 80% of smokers we know what that means, no? So in my readings, between 30 to 33% of Filipinos are endangered. Di ba? So I guess it's also the environment, poverty, di ba, malnutrition in the area, di ba? Pero malayo naman yung statistics ng prevalence dun sa potential na ma-stunt. But of course, we still have to look at yung potential kasi parang 4Ps lang yan eh.
Correct.
Naka-recover na, pero nagkaroon ng baha, nagkaroon ng bagyo, nagkaroon ng sunog, balik to square one yon, di ba? So pag sinabing potential, let's say, kung ang barn halimbawa, gumaganda yung health, pero God forbid, magkagulo, babalik na naman yung rate nung stunting, no? So, sa pag sinabing prevalence, anong ibig sabihin? Yun na yung stunted at that time or what?
Yes, Mr. President. Pag prevalence, it's the number of kids that are stunted. So pag sinabing 23.6%, so all under 5 kids, meron tayong 2 out of 10 kids na stunted.
Since I'm not a doctor, but you and Dr. Mercado are doctors, respected doctors, tell us a little bit about stunting. No? What is it? And then at what age nagiging irreversible? And when you say irreversible, is it both the physical or pati sa mental?
That's correct, no? So, inaral na rin to nung EDCOM, I think a committee that was created, a commission that was created by the Senate. So the problem of stunting is not only physical. So stunted, we have kids that don't grow very tall, no? So we have people in the remote provinces that are only up to 4'11" or even 5 feet, and they're adults already. But the real impact on stunting is really brain stunting. So the brain develops at a younger age. So it stops growing after 6, 5, at 7 years old. So if we're unable to grow the brain to the proper size, nagkakaroon ng learning difficulties in school. I think the EDCOM was trying to study the root cause of why we have learning difficulties, and that why we were lowest in Southeast Asia in the cognitive. So yung cognitive is the learning capability. So if the kid is stunted, the brain also doesn't develop, Mr. President, and then, of course, the brain becomes smaller. So it's not the physical height, it's like the outward appearance na yung bata stunted. Problem is, naayos ba yung brain development niya, so that even if we give them education, good public primary education, hindi natututo, they have difficulty in school. So yun yung bigger impact why we as a government needs to address stunting.
So some call it linear growth failure, no? Or sa Filipino, 'di ba yung well, is there another word for bansot or pagbabansot sa in our Filipino language?
Bansot is the term for stunting, yeah.
So and basically it's a linear growth failure. No?
I prefer to call it impaired cognitive development.
Impaired cognitive.
So what we're scared of is the impaired cognitive development.
So in other words, when the mother is healthy and the child is has the proper nutrition upbringing in the first 1,000 days, he's free from potential stunting, no? But number one cause ng stunting is nutrition.
Yes, both the actual nutrition of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, but also micronutrients like iron, folic acid, which also allows the brain to develop. Which
over the years, as you said, 44%, that probably 60s or 70s. That's why over the years, for example, yung mga salt na may iron or yung, you know, there's been developments all over, di ba? Of course, labeling ng foods para alam natin kapag ano yung nutrition, prenatal check-ups na ini-encourage, etc. No? But the point I want to make, which you agreed with naman last year, is that somehow our strategy is not working, or if it's not working enough. Di ba? As I said kanina, ang stunting kasi parang sunog eh. Either napatay mo o hindi. Di ba? Kasi yung sunog, pag sinabi ko sa iyo, 50% napatay na namin, that's good news. Pero pag hindi mo napatay yung other 50%, lalaki ulit yung yung sunog. So ang problema sa stunting, if it's that big, 30% ang endangered, 23% ang stunted, at what age pala, sir, does this become irreversible?
About 6. So that's our problem, Mr. President, as you said correctly. we've been doing the same thing over the years. We've given our budget highest to the Department of Education. Nandun yung feeding program natin. But the people that go to DepEd on the public school is already above 6. So kung na-stunt na yung brain nila before the first 1,000 days, kahit i-feed natin sila, hindi na natin na-reverse. Yun yung sinasabi yung linear growth regression. So what happens is, we talked about this in the cabinet, nag-usap-usap kami to try to put this. So now nutrition is one of those included in convergence budgeting. Kasi nga, nung nakita namin...
Can you explain that? So nung nag-usap kayo, pumayag si Sec Sani and si Sec Rex.
So nakita nila so what happens in feeding is the first 1,000 days is DOH talaga. Yung buntis, yung antenatal checkup, yung bakuna sa bata, and the vitamins for the first up to 2 years old. Pagdating sa before school age, it's DSWD. So yung feeding program before school age, DSWD gumagawa nun. Tapos pagdating ng DepEd, pag nasa eskwelahan na sila, DepEd yung may
so let me stop you there and acknowledge that because our chairman, Senator Win, did explain that, or I mean, Sec Sani did explain that through Sen Win, and then same nung si Senator Pia ang sponsor kay Sec Rex. Pero both of them acknowledge walang point person pa sa stunting. So is DOH now the will spearhead or kasi pati yung World Bank program, yes, multisectoral, all of government. Pero may official or unofficial chairman ba yun o timon or captain ball on it?
Mr. President, we currently have 2 councils addressing nutrition. One is an old council called the National Nutrition Council. So ito yung naggagawa ng strategy together with DA, all the other government agencies, ito yung mga policies. And then yung bagong nagawa was the Zero Hunger Council, correct? It's an interagency task force for zero hunger. So that was created by...
And Mr. Secretary, anong role mo dun sa dalawang council niya?
Chair ako doon sa National Nutrition Council at co-chair po kami doon sa IATF for zero hunger.
So can I ask you to be the stunting SAR? At least while you're there and if it's until 2028? Kasi if you're co-chair of that two, and multisectoral. Kasi in the Philippines, pag walang na-hold accountable, it's a hard task.
Correct.
But someone has to do it eh. So, dumaan ba sa'yo yung budget proposal ng National Nutrition Council muna?
Yes po, naka-attached yan sa ating NEP. It was attached.
But I mean, the secretary submits it di ba?
Correct.
So, did you put any increase, did you propose any increase for them?
Yes, sir. We proposed for an increase in the...
No coaching muna ha, kasi napakalaking problema to and I want to know. No, it's okay kasi nga that's your job to... Even si Yusek, he's welcome. Nasaan si Yusek last time?
Napunta ko muna, Mr. President, sa likod.
I'm not mad at him and he has many friends here who told me he's a good guy. Asek. Hindi lang... Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, ako napagalitan ako ng professor ko, Attorney Binluan, for coaching my classmate. Ang masama, yung classmate ko yun nag-drop out kaya sayang yung coach ko sa kanya. Pero I learned my lesson na pag sinabi na nung teacher, no coaching, don't. So yun lang namang kinagalit ko kay ASEC na sinabi ko ng wag, siguro loyal sa'yo. I had that kind of ASECs. I hope my staff, but listen to each other tayo. So he's welcome and he can join you dyan sa harap. I'm not, he's not banned from the Senate and everyone is saying he knows his job. So going back, sa tier 1 nyo ba nilagay yung increase?
Yes, Mr. President.
And more or less lang, or sige, you can tell the Secretary, magkanong hiningin yung increase for the Nutrition Council? But Sec, I mean, I don't want to go ballistic, etc. But, di ba, like ako, nung sa Foreign Affairs, dalawa ang pinupinteriya ko every single cabinet meeting. Dagdagan yung pondo na, dalawa yon, LAF, yung legal assistance, at saka yung isa na para sa welfare, tapos passports. So anytime ako tinanong, magkano sinabit mo kay Sec Joc, no, magkano, alam ko in my heart. And kung hindi niya ibigay, so kung hiningi ko 1 billion, ang binigay 600 million, I know it in my heart. Kasi yun ang priority ko eh. So I was really hoping na priority nyo talaga ang anti-stunting. No? So how much did you ask
Mr.
for?
President, ang hiningi po namin ay 2.4, almost 2.5, 2.489 billion.
For the
Ang
Nutrition Council.
For the National Nutrition Council.
Ang binigay
pero
300.
Tier 2 po nilagay ng DBM ito.
No,
Nilagay-
ang naglalagay sa tier 1 or 2 kayo, hindi DBM. Okay? Oh. So for people listening, the department submits its budget. Pag
Excuse
tier
me,
1, yun yung
Mr.
priority.
President, can I just
Sorry.
add some information? Yeah, just so for the record, as far as the Senate is concerned, we did not receive any request for additional budget for NNC. We have many requests for additional budget for DOH and DSWD, which I also handle on supplemental feeding, etc. But for National Nutrition Council, none. And also for the record, there's a decrease in the budget, but that is because may capital outlay in the previous year that was no longer needed
Yes.
this year. And final point is, they usually, well, their focus is policy. Maybe the secretary can elaborate on that. But we are quite happy with the 3.3 billion supplemental feeding. But that goes to DSWD. But
Yes.
just to know that, for the
No,
body to know that we
that is
recommend it.
most helpful
And the chairman
information
accepted.
because the 2 points I want to make, if it's not a priority, it's not a priority. Diba? We can probably have per department, baka 3, malaki na yung 5 na priority. But above that, the reality is, pag sinabi ng DBM or ng Congress, Senate, ikakat yan. So
And
the second,
sorry, one last, just to complete the picture. This whole nutrition program starts with the first 1,000 days when the mother is pregnant. So there is a 900 million request which we submitted to the Finance Committee, and the Finance Committee informed us that they will grant it. But again, this is the DSWD budget
Yes.
because, as the Secretary said, some budgets are with the DSWD, some are with DOH, and some are with DepEd, for the information of the
And
public.
I will merge that with information from Sec Rex, yung nga about the nutrition scholars, the barangay health workers, who are our heroes, who knows best sa pagbabahay-bahay. Most of our barangay health workers, and let me honor Senator J.V. Ejercito, nandun ako sa LEDAC. You were on your Senate break kasi hindi kayo senador at the time, Mr. President. Kaya ko lang kayo hindi binabanggit. So, Senator JV is pushing na magkaroon ng sweldo ang ating mga barangay health workers. Fortunately, sa Taguig, I think contractual. So, they're making much more. There are certain cities that have done it. Nutrition scholars. Ang request nga nila, di ba? Rubber shoes at saka anti-rabies kasi hinahabol sila ng mga aso sa pagkakatok nila araw-araw. But the point I wanted to make is whether it's symbolic that the council who is fighting for our health, our nutrition, anti-stunting, or whether it is, may problema nga sa policy eh. Diba? So, ang survey na ginagawa ng, 2 survey ang nagaganap, Mr. Secretary, every year, diba? Ang National Nutrition Survey conducted by DOST Food and Nutrition every 5 years. Diba? And mukhang masyadong malayo ang 5 years. Kasi kung every 5 years, paano natin alam kung yung intervention natin last year or this year, diba? So if you had it, even if it's not the whole of the Philippines, let's say, sa yung pagkaalam, Secretary, saan ang worst prevalence ng 2 or 3 provinces na worst ang prevalence ng stunting?
So we have actually the remote areas in Mindanao, mataas ang stunting. We have the island provinces.
Okay.
Merong mga
So I'll
island.
take that, but BARM is number 1. So I would suggest both to DST, to the National Nutrition, and to DOH, you use BARM as one of your pilot projects. Diba? Na whether 3, 6 months, I don't know yung survey kung but masyadong matagal tong sa National Nutrition. Second, the National Demographic and Health Survey by the Philippine Statistics Authority. But obviously, if you remember yung Brexit and yung unang panalo ni President Trump, hindi nahuli ng survey yon. Sa survey, hindi mananalo ang Brexit eh. Sa survey, hindi rin mananalo yung si President Trump nung una. So obviously, garbage in is garbage out. So this is not garbage. But I'm saying, if this is gold, baka may mga diamond sa survey na hindi natatanong eh. So for example, yung isang diamond na si Sec Rex at saka si Sec Sani ang nagsabi, aside from the EDCOM, is that it's really 0 to 11 months and then 12 months to 2 years. But yung isa din nilang sinabi is that how do you get to the mothers? Diba? So sa policy ba, because you're chair, so how many meetings does the National Nutrition Council have in a year?
We meet quarterly, Mr. President. Yes.
And you attend all of them?
Yes, I chair all of them.
More or less? Or
More or less.
More or less.
There are
How many
times-
times have you traveled since you became secretary?
Last year, 11.
And the year before?
The year before, 23, I think 6.
And then this year?
This year, ilan? I forget.
And when you travel, how long are you out of the country usually?
A few days, because I only attend the meetings.
But itong last budget hearing, sabi ng staff mo, 2 weeks? Or 2 weeks yung conference?
No, I went
2
to
weeks yung conference.
I went to a
pero hindi 2 weeks.
WHO regional meeting.
Which was
and
in
it was
2
5
weeks.
days
5
only.
days, okay.
So the travel time was 1
And
day
that
each.
travel usually doesn't interrupt your chairing PhilHealth or National Nutrition Council.
We scheduled the council meetings when I'm available.
How about PhilHealth? Have you attended?
Yes, I always attend the PhilHealth.
Okay. So you're familiar with
Yes.
their ano. So can you tell us in a nutshell anong change in policy ang sinasuggest ng National Nutrition Council? Then we'll go back to the budget.
Well,
What is the 1, 2, 3 or one thing or 1, 2, 3 things that they want to change so that we can have an impact sa anti-stunting?
Dalawang pinag-uusapan doon. One is the Tutok Kainan program, which is a program that they implemented. It's that they implement through the barangay nutrition scholars. So ito yung making sure that the Pinggang Pinoy is implemented in
Mr.
the
President,
communities.
Secretary, can I interrupt while you're talking
Yes.
one by one? No? So in that, how much money do we have for that program and who's implementing that?
Yun yung, Mr. President, na requested namin na tier to about 2.3 billion
Okay.
to implement the program.
And then under the council yon.
Under the council, but personally, I prefer that the feeding programs or the nutrition programs be in the Bureau of Public Health, because that's where the nutrition program is, and the council is really just like a board. It's
And
the
the-
different agencies, DA.
I understand.
Oo.
So parang PDEA versus yung Dangerous Drug Board.
Correct,
diba? Yung
correct.
implementer,
Oo.
yung PDEA. Okay, having said that, ang barangay health workers who are mostly volunteers at nutrition scholars, of course, are under barangay and the city.
LGU, yes.
But may supervision ang DOH?
Correct. So we do training for them. We do, like for example,
So
yung
is that under the regional director?
Yes.
So-
Well, they're under the LGU, but
Yes.
we coordinate through regional. We also have regional council, regional nutrition areas that actually support them.
Okay.
But our RDs actually do.
The reason I
implement
ask
the
you, I'm
program.
trying to figure out what to recommend to Senator Pia and Senator Win, because if you have the money sa DepEd, you have the money sa DSWD, you have the money from World Bank here, pero yung accountability magulo, baka, Senator Win, we can propose, let's say, the top 3 or top 5 na most stunted, ilagay natin lahat sa ilalim ng public health, just for 1 year, to see nga if it makes an impact and a change. I think the highest is BARM, 34.3%. Prevalence to, prevalence. Senator Robin is here and he's been championing this. Senator Robin is a man of peace. Sa sine lang yung bad boy, pero dito good boy yan. But you know, I was telling him kanina, can you imagine, Mr. Secretary, if you're 5, 6 years old now at stunted ka, then at the time you're 20 years old, you're functional except stunted. Nabasa mo to, tapos lumaki ka, you were 3 years old, 2 years old nung Marawi siege, tapos ganyan nangyari sa'yo, baka magrebelde ka. Diba? So, if we do not address the so many injustices in Barn, and then 1 out of 3 are stunted, then makikita nila ang, halimbawa, ang Central Luzon nasa below 20%, di ba? Parang, bakit kayo pinapaboran doon? Which is not the case. But then, if we don't do an intervention now, ganun mangyayari. Soc-Sargen, 33%, Zamboanga Peninsula, 31%. Ang layo, Ilocos Region, 16%, Central Luzon, 16.1%, Cagayan Valley, 16.6%. So kung Metro Manila ang 16 mo, the money is all here, the hospitals are here, the head offices, it's understandable eh. But if we can do this in Ilocos, Central Luzon, and Cagayan Valley, I think we can lower the prevalence rates in Barm, Soc-Sargen, and Peninsula if we really put our acts together. So my question nga, Mr. Secretary, if pinag-uusapan nyo yung cabinet, etc., bakit hindi namin nararamdaman yung sense of urgency? Is it just because maraming ibang urgent or nasa news lang kasi parati yung corruption or flooding? Di ba? Kasi ang in-expect ko, ang chairman namin, through you or kayo, or you present to us, it's just like vaccines eh. Pag kami nagsita sa inyo, it doesn't mean na lahat ng kasalanan sa inyo, pero naghihintay kami. Bakit hindi nyo sinasabi sa amin kung ano problema o anong solusyon? So in other words, masama na yung hindi proactive, masama na nga yung hindi active, galit na nga tayo kung reactive. Pero if we feel, I'm not saying it's true, I'm talking about perception. If ang perception namin, there's wala nang action, wala pang reaction, di ba? So meaning, if Secretary Flavier, yung turok, let's do it, because nga he felt may resistance sa vaccine. And then ang sinabi niya, pag walang naturok, people feel, he told it to me personally nung tinatanong namin siya, he told to my sister, sinabi din niya, kasi malapit sa dad ko, sabi niya, ang Pilipino, pag hindi nakaramdam ng turok, parang wala yung DOH. At that time, walang pera ang DOH masyado. So walang mga libreng gamot. Yung mga nararamdaman natin ngayon sa LGUs at saka sa DOH, mga flu shot, wala nung araw yon eh. But somehow, and then nung sumikat, yung let's do it, tapos yung personality niya, sinundan niya naman ng Yossi Kadiri. Tapos somehow, they found the money or the sa TV, di ba? So I'm not comparing. No? I mean, you can tell me the same thing, Secretary, you can tell me that Senator Tulfo or Senator Pia is more effective than I, iba style namin. I know that. I'm not talking about you and DOH, I'm talking about the anti-stunting. And I feel bad myself that 1998 pa lang nasa Congress na ako, bakit last year ko lang ito talagang nakita at inuupakan. And you know why, let me just state this Dito kasi ako tinamaan kay President Tarman ng Singapore. Sabi niya, the highest social return. By the way, President Tarman had an excellent career, is an astounding, brilliant person. Finance. So he's a technocrat. Hindi siya politiko, hindi siya yung parang dyan natin sa health or sa education, etc. But ito sabi niyo, the highest social return we get on any investment comes in maternal health and in the earliest stage of a child's life, with the first 2 years in particularly, absolutely critical. So it's a hospital project with Taguig where he spoke between, I think, Temasek, and then, but basically, ito yung sinabi niya sa amin in the sidelines kasi di ako mapagpigil. Of course, as DFA Secretary before, may mga niceties, may kamustahan, but hindi tayo mapigil na, sir, why do you think that that's the highest return, etc.? Ang sabi niya, Alan, well, marami kami, so he didn't address me particularly, but sabi niya, kung if you have scholarship fund, pero stunted na yung bata, bale wala yung scholarship fund mo. Hindi hindi makakapasok ng college yon kung yung level ng stunting niya prevents him from doing it. May athletic program ka, hindi na magiging varsity yan. Kasi stunted na yung growth. Of course, there are exceptions, di ba? I mean, there are people na kahit stunted, they can go beyond, But sabi niya, health. Oh, you can have the best hospitals. But ang problema mo, even before he goes to the hospital, stunted na yung growth niya at pagka irreversible, wala na. So doon ako, Secretary, Mr. President, doon ako tinamaan na sa dami pala nating ginagawa lahat, infrastructure, health, education. Pag tinanong mo Pilipino, ano pinaka-importante sa'yo? 2 sagot, Diyos or pamilya. At pag kinorek mo sa pamilya, Diyos at pamilya. Anong number 1 gift sa'yo ng Diyos? Pamilya. Lee Kuan Yew tinanong, what's your number 1 resource? People, our people. Sa kanila, obvious, kasi wala silang natural resources, maraming wala sa Singapore, pati tubig. Tayo minsan sasagutin, mga minahan natin, napapayaman, yung iba, kagubatan natin, yung iba, talent ng Pinoy. Pero ang tamang sagot talaga is our people. That's our number 1 resource. Yun ang binigay ng Diyos. Hindi sinabi ng Diyos, nature should dominate people. Ang sinabi ng Diyos, people should dominate yung kalikasan, yung binigay niya, no? Animals, fish, the oceans. But if stunted na yung bata, hindi naman game over, pero handicap, for life, ngayon lang, Mr. Secretary, may I ask as a side question? I don't know kasi sa stunting, may severe ba o hindi, but would you consider them a person with disability? Or it depends on the amount of stunting?
Iba po yung definition ng person with disability. Kailangan may physical difficulty to do everyday activity. So parang yung amputee or yung na-stroke. So
but for example, di ba sa vision, pwede ka maging PWD.
Also.
So ang question ko lang, can the stunting be so severe? Kasi pwedeng mental at physical. Ang klaro kasi yung sa physical, yung hindi tumangkad, di ba? So hindi naman disability yon. But mentally, could the malnutrition be so bad and the stunting be so bad na magkaroon siya ng disability mentally?
It can be, but most of the time it's a learning difficulty. So
but I can argue that yung sa cure at saka yung pang PWD, yung pang ibang medicines later on in life, mas makakatipid tayo kung walang stunting. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. In fact, that's those statements by President Thurman. He's an economist, but he understands the biggest return in health is really nutrition. And this is proven. Yung movie na Blue Zones.
Yeah. I agree with you, but ang sinabi niya, hindi lang in health. Ang sinabi niya, sa lahat.
Yeah.
Sa lahat.
Sa lahat
In-encompass niya na sa lahat, ito pinakamalaki return.
And ito rin yung findings if you've seen the Blue Zones on Netflix.
Yeah.
The low-income countries like Costa Rica.
Hindi ko kino-quote yun kasi merong din study na sinasabing medyo cinematic yon. But hindi tayo mag-aaway about the Blue Zone.
Yeah, but
Secretary.
the health minister of Costa Rica was asked, ang anong focus niya? Nutrition and immunization. Dalawa lang for the children.
And to be fair to all of our health workers, to all the mothers out there, to all the NGOs, they've always said naman nutrition, di ba? And even nung may rice shortage tayo, even ngayon na noodles, grade 1, grade 2 teachers kayo, you've always said it's nutrition, hindi yung mga fad diets, etc. But I'll go back. Bakit tier 2? So for example, magkano nilagay nyo sa tier 1 para sa MAIP? You can ask that. I don't expect
MAIP
you to
is
memorize
around 14
that.
yata yung tier 1 namin. 14 or 20, something like that. 14 billion.
If I was DBM now, Secretary, and nag-one-on-one tayo, and I ask you, Secretary, between 14 billion sa MAIP and your 2.2 billion sa second tier, ano mas importante sa'yo?
Nutrition.
Oh.
I agree.
I agree, di ba?
Yeah.
Problema, nilagay nyo sa tier 2, hindi sa tier 1.
Sa National Nutrition Council, but you see, we also have a foreign assisted program. Yun yung malaki. Something like about 200 million.
But
yun yung PMNP.
Yeah, how much of that will go to pregnant mothers pa lang?
That program includes the first 1,000 days.
Yes, but sa 20, yeah. So the reason I'm going to that, can you put up the chart about if you look kasi, there's a jump from 6 to 11 months to 1 to 2 years old. So 0 to 5, 23%. So, tama po kayo. Kailangan nakafocus tayo sa pregnant. Diba? Okay, sa magiging mothers kung first time nila maging nanay. Pero bumababa sa 0 to 5, nagiging 15%, then 6 to 11, nagiging 12%. Pero biglang tatalon sa 1 to 2 years old. Dito nga sinabi ni Sexani through Chairman Win and also Chairman Win na bakit na yung feeding sa elementary school, sinasalo nila, mataas na yung prevalence. So dapat ang i-address talaga yung 0 to 5 at saka yung 1 to 2. You have the slide for this? Yeah, okay. Prepare nyo lang, may pakit. We'll go back to that. Do you have another one? Apologies po na it's a slide in my briefer but wala pala kami dyan. So, dun sa nakikinig, 0 to 5 months old, ibig sabihin habang buntis pa hanggang sa 5 months old, 23.6% yung prevalence ng stunting. 0 to 5 months, bakit dalawa yung 0 to 5 months?
5 years po,
Sorry,
Mr. Senator.
yes.
5 years yung una.
Tama. Yung una, 5 years. Okay. 5 months is the 15%. So halos pareho ng 6 to 11, 12%. But bumababa, ibig sabihin may interventions na doon. No? Pero biglang umaakyat sa 1 to 2 years old. May I ask, bakit? Ito ba yung tumitigil yung iba mag-breastfeeding? O ito ba yung dulot ng kahirapan? O what do you, have we found out the scientific reason or some reasons why from 12.8 sa 6 to 11, nagiging 30.2 in the 1 to 2 years old?
That's correct, Mr. President. Yung breastfeeding, yung mandatory breastfeeding up to 6 months. Yung iba, nagko-continue sila all the way to 11 months. Pero pag kumakain na yung bata ng solid food, transfer na dun sa sa solid food, yun naman ang kulang. So biglang dun naman na kakaroon ng undernutrition. Sige
po. Para hindi ko po maubos yung goodwill ng ating mga kasamahan and ng aking kapatid at ng ating Senate President, i-shortcut ko na lang po. Looking at the budget of DSWD, DepEd, your budget, don't look only at the World Bank kasi tingin ko kahit 6.7 trillion ang budget natin eh. So even if we throw an extra 20-30 billion, I don't think it will really move the needle. It will make an impact, definitely. But baka you can put a program together with our chairman, Senator Win, even for the top 5 siguro, or let's say anywhere na mahigit sa 20. So kung prevalence is 23%, maybe you can choose the provinces na higher than 25 or 28% yung endangered and stunting, and see talaga kung mapababa natin yung prevalence doon. So, last 3 questions on stunting, no? So, how do you propose to address yung from 6 to 11 or 11 months to 1 to 2 years old? Kasi nga, ito sabi ni Senator Secretary Angara, wala pa sa school yan, no? And si SecRex naman, they're willing to do anything, but ang feeding nila, although may community-based, hindi siya, how do I put it? Hindi siya national, and then Senator Pierre, you told me it's from 120 days, naging ano na ngayon? 180, diba? But as the doctor, should the feeding be 180 or should it be 300? Or, I mean, when do you get malnourished?
Actually, so, just to show the changes we did, no? So we said we would do convergence budgeting. Ang ginawa ni Secretary Sani, kinuha niya yung budget ng DepEd at binaba niya sa entry age at kindergarten para mas mag-universal feeding siya. So ang ginawa niya, instead of identifying the malnourished or undernourished, and then we're feeding them at different grades, grade 5, grade 4, binaba lahat doon with universal feeding.
No, I agree, but what
DepEd, ang ginawa naman namin sa PMNP, nag-digital kami. So we have now an iPad with a format. Kasi ang nutrition has to be developmental. Kagaya nitong chart, Mr. President, we have to track the kid.
Yeah,
So
I
ang
agree,
ginawa
sir.
namin dun sa digitalization, pag napasok siya sa program ng PMNP, mafa-follow namin siya kung
Yes,
talagang
Mr. President,
unlike yung dito.
I appreciate that. I accept that we are doing something about it. But si Sec Sani mismo nga nagsabi, ang problema ang kindergarten is around 4 or 5 years old. So bumababa na at 22. So meaning, we need a specific intervention sa 11 months to 12 months to 24 months. I know it's not easy. But that's why we have to pilot. So gagamitin ba natin ang barangay health workers or barangay captain or do we do NGOs? Kasi I'm sure katulad ng barn, no? I don't think that's the prevalence rate for the whole barn. There are probably areas na mas mataas, may areas siguro na mas mababa, di ba? Kaya ang national prevalence rate natin is 23.6%. Meron tayong lugar na 16. Pero kasi may lugar tayo na 33 So if we can target those areas na mas malaki, community-wise, isang tingin mo ba, alam mo na kung yung lugar ay walang Poso Negro, kung ang lugar ay hindi malinis ang tubig, kung yung lugar ay isang kain, isang tuka ang unlike the city, hindi naman to parang slums, etc. Pero sa rural areas, kita naman natin Ang problema, I don't know if the term I used kay Sec Rex is think as a mayor, not as a secretary. Mahirap as a secretary buong Pilipinas Diba? But if you were governor ng Barn or you were a mayor in Soc-Sargen, can you, or the council might have a list of projects na hindi pinondohan. Does the council have some...
Mr. President, so the implementation of the program for nutrition, I attached to a program in the Department of Health, which is a priority program of mine called Purok Kalusugan. So because for the past, all the secretaries before me worked in a concept na hanggang regional office lang sila, tapos hinahayaan na yung LGU. This time, I instructed our whole department to actually go purok by purok and address 8 things. Of the 8 things, non-negotiable sa akin yung nutrition. So they were asked to take nutrition as a priority and 2 or 3 other things that they will target to change.
But how's that implemented sa barangay?
So what happens is our DMO, our DOH personnel, doctor to the barrios, nurse deployment program, go to the 5th class, 6th class municipalities. Those that need help, at yun yung targeted namin, yun yung may nutrition, improving immunization, address TB, address maternal mortality. So pinapili namin sila kung ano yung address nila, pero nutrition is non-negotiable to me.
No,
Lahat ng Purok
I don't
Kalusugan
doubt
sites
that's a
ko.
good program and it's a good innovation, but ang question nga, will they have the resources? For example, if one of your doctors says, etong barangay na to, grabe, mag-feeding tayo dito. But as you said, kalat nga yung pera. So that's what I'm saying na, or submit nyo na lang sa akin, and sa chairman namin, paano natin magagawa yon, di ba? I'll add another question. How do we monitor ba? So like these statistics na 0 to ganyan, ano to? Sampling to or actual? Or how do they get this? And then DOH, how do you monitor?
So that's the job of the DOH to actually monitor the kids. So we do the weighing. So bumili din tayo dyan through the PMNP project. Kasi pati sa weighing scale, pag iba-iba, nagkakaroon ng error yung weight. So we had to get scales that were accurate.
So kung trabaho nyo, do you agree with me? Yeah. If bawat barangay, in general rule, di ba? Kasi like in Manila, bawat kalye barangay. So you don't need to put a primary health center in bawat barangay. But more or less, if all Filipinos have access to a primary health center, and if that primary health center has the proper equipment, and meron na tayong national ID, meron na tayong, ano yung app ng DICT? May eGov tayo. Theoretically, if they have a sort of a health passport, di ba? In Hong Kong, after the record of birth, may address yon. If 2 times or 3 times, hindi tinawagan yung magulang at hindi dinala sa health center, kakasuhan sila ng child abuse. So do you agree with me, in another world or in 5 years, 10 years, whatever, if kompleto ang primary health centers natin or RHU, whatever we call it, no, barangay health centers at equip siya and we use digital, mas mamomonitor natin at pag mas monitored, mas makaka-intervene tayo.
Yes, Mr. President. In fact, yan yung project namin sa 275 PMNP sites. Dinigital namin yung mga bata from the first 1,000 days all the way to school age para nababantayan yung growth nila. So we have the software and the tablets that were given to these barangay health workers and nutrition scholars. So ang hope ko is that in the next cycle for budget request, i-scale up namin to nationwide. Kasi maganda yung results eh. So we want it scaled up and hopefully in the next budget cycle, maybe in 2027.
Sorry. So you're still trying it out or maganda na yung results?
Maganda na yung results.
So why don't we scale it up now?
Pwede.
How much do you need? How much do you have for that?
So what happened there is we're asking now DepDev for continuation of the PMNP project. So it's another $600 million to actually to implement it at other sites. So para mag-scale up.
So may I suggest, Mr. President, Secretary, you give your subcommittee chair, Senator Pia, then our chairman, Senator Win, parang yung yung minimum at saka ideal, di ba? Of course, ideal is $600 million. Malamang hindi ibigay sa inyo yun. But what would you do with $1 billion? What would you do with 10 billion or 50 billion? Diba? Then we can see what we do. Kasi when we started this discussion sa DSWD, and I'm happy many centers were listening, I asked them, are you willing to let go of other projects for this? And if you're saying na eto na, eto pagka nilagyan ng pondo to, sure yung results, dilagyan na natin.
Yes, Mr. President, we're asking for 5.7 billion on top of the existing for nutrition alone and targeting BARM.
Okay.
So yun ang the same idea as the
So
Senator.
maybe you can give a short memo to your chairman and to me about that. Let's go ngayon sa primary health yung barangay health centers, no. So do we agree that number one intervention sa health is primary health, 'di ba? Mas sexy or mas syempre mas nasa news parati yung tertiary or mga hospitals, 'di ba? Kasi syempre kung may cancer ka, may kidney transplant, may bypass, yun ang nanyo-news, yun ang pinag-uusapan natin as adults, 'di ba? But actually the key to health is really the from maternity to 'di ba, yung sa primary health. Okay. And then you mentioned Thailand and US. I'll go to that later. But so how much money do you have for 2025 for building barangay health centers? You can ask your finance people.
I think the answer is 3.9 billion for health centers, primary health centers.
So out of your sa NEP 14B yung HPEP.
That's correct.
So you're allotting 3 billion for barangay health centers. Ano yung 10B naman? So 14B yung NEP, 'di ba? 2026 ng HPEP. Sa HPEP nyo ba kukunin yan yung barangay health centers?
Yes.
Yeah. So kung 10.5 ang NEP for sorry, did I ask you 26 or 25?
We answered 26. We answered.
Okay. Let's talk about 2025. You have 34.74B sa HPEP for 2025. How much of that was allotted for barangay health centers or primary health centers?
4.7 billion.
Yeah. Bakit napakaliit? What's the other 30?
The other 30 are the specialty centers, the equipment for the hospitals. So what happens is there's a budget for infrastructure, and then after 1-2 years matatapos yan, popondohan naman yung equipment nila,
but
Mr. President.
Don't you see the disjoint? On one hand, we're saying mas importante ang primary. On the other hand, pag tinignan mo yung budget, 30 for others and but sa barangay health center, 4B lang. Does that, yung 4B ba na yun, kasama equipment or kasama, or ano lang?
Yes, kasama equipment, Mr. President.
But outside the 4B, may equipment pa, or outside the 4B is all tertiary na?
Outside is mostly secondary, tertiary. So, totoo yun, it is cheaper to spend for primary healthcare. That's why it's a logical approach. So it's cheaper and it's cost effective.
So,
rather than build the big hospitals with expensive equipment,
point fingers. Sino nag-iba niyan? DOH, DBM, Congress, Senate.
We really have requirements for hospitals. In fact, we're also in a deficit
but you yourself,
mode for hospitals.
Sorry to interrupt. Sige, continue po. Continue. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. So we have, it's a health systems approach. Yung primary care kailangan i-improve kasi ang daming areas, walang barangay health stations, super health centers. And then yung program natin sa Universal Health Care, the Universal Health Care Act really focuses on improving primary care. So yun yung pinofocus natin ngayon, that all Filipinos will have access at least to a primary care facility.
Okay.
So yan, tupundahan yan. Ang average namin ngayon for a super health center is something like 10 to 15 million pesos. May building na yun and equipment na ma-accredit ng PhilHealth for the YAKAP program.
But Mr. President, dear Secretary, kami ang politiko, hindi kayo eh. So kung kami, binubugbog ng tao, bakit walang Mindanao Heart Center? Bakit walang Southern Luzon Lung Center? Bakit walang Children's Hospital sa Central Luzon, etc.? Kami yon. But kayo, sabi nga nung pandemic, follow the science. So, kayo na nagsabi na mas importante yung primary healthcare. Pero sa budget nyo na 34, 30B is hindi pang primary, pang secondary, tertiary. So, ibig sabihin, hindi yung, was it Senator J? May isang senator dito na nagsabi, I don't know if Senator Legarda, put your money where your mouth is. Diba? So, our mouth is that mas importante yung primary. But our money is in secondary and tertiary. Which guilty din ako kasi after this, I'm going to go to about tertiary.
Yeah, both are required. And it's really cheaper. If you have the budget, dapat mas maliit talaga ang gastos mo sa health centers. Because it's not expensive to build one and equip one. But to build heart centers, mas mahal yan.
Yes.
To build a big hospital, mas mahal yan.
Okay.
So, and I'll just like to correct Mr. President.
No coaching
there
dito.
are already 4 heart institutes in Mindanao.
Okay.
That's
so,
a project.
Heart institutes but not centers. May
Yeah,
issue ako doon eh.
okay.
So, ang ginawa, yung mga magagandang ospital, dinagdagan ng wing. Pero iba pa rin yun sa, di ba? Kasi nasa Metro Manila lahat. But I'll go to that later kasi meron akong diagram doon. So more or less, how many designs do you have for a primary health center? Isa lang ba or?
3 po, meron kaming small, medium, and large.
Okay, and anong difference ng small, medium, large?
It's just the size and the services available.
Okay.
So yung iba, yung bigger, meron ng birthing
And rule
center.
of, more or less lang, how much is the small, medium, large?
Parang 10, 15, 20. Parang
Okay.
ganon.
And then, how much is a specialized hospital? Hindi
A
institute.
billion, 500 to 1 billion.
Okay,
to
no,
build a
it's
hospital.
actually 5 billion.
Yeah.
Okay? It's 2.5 billion for the building, it's
For the
2.5
equipment.
billion for the equipment, then you can add on, di ba?
Yeah.
You're actually building one in Clark, di ba?
Yes,
Oh.
5 centers in Clark. We're
5.
replicating the
Yes.
North Triangle Heart Center.
In
Kidney
your
Center.
budget, is there any, aside from Clark, meron ba? Is there any same as Clark?
So what happened is we're implementing the Regional Specialty Centers Act. It's a
Yes.
law passed by the legislature. So we're building, the target was to build about 300 plus of these different health centers so that hindi na pupunta ng Metro Manila yung mga
Yes,
taga-probinsya.
and that's good kasi nandun na.
And we built about 160.
Pero it's better to build katulad ng heart center, lung center, Fabella, etc. Di ba?
Doon pupunta yon, Mr. President. Eventually, you start with the institute as the
No, but
capability improves.
Any
you will
hospital
improve it.
administrator or architect will tell you, mas magandang mag-build ng buo kaso to keep converting yung nandyan na.
That's
Diba?
correct. That's correct, Mr. President. Unfortunately, mas matagal mag-train ng cardiac surgeon, ng
Yes.
cardiac anesthesiologist. So pag binild mo, wala naman po tayo. In
No.
fact, recently we launched the National Academy for Cardiac and Vascular Surgery. 4 na institution na nag-tie up
That's true.
para
sir.
mas
That's
mabilis
true,
ang
sir.
pag-train.
But you know George Garcia, Dr. George Garcia.
Yes, I know
Oh.
George Garcia.
Where was he practicing?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, when you built the Asian, saan siya umuwi? Sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yes.
So, I learned that from Governor Chato of Bohol when he was asking me about helping Bohol 2012, 2013, 2014, I forgot the date, about call centers. Sabi ko, boss, 6 lang out of 100 ang marunong, ang kinukuha ng call centers at that time dahil 6 lang sa 100, 6%. ang pumapasa sa English nila or mas mababa pa yung foreign language. Sabi niya sa akin, hindi problema yun, Senator. Kasi yung mga nasa call center sa Cebu, Buholano, uuwi din yan. So the reality is, we're not talking about building 100 heart centers, etc. So just like in Clark, yung mga taga Pampanga, taga Tarlac, na doctors, etc. And then yung iba, in fact, during Duterte's time, I think the Israelis were interested, di ba? And it's the same way, when you build the regional health, you're also asking for more doctors there, di ba? So, ang point ko lang, I proposed this as early as 2010. Ang problema, the then President and Secretary Ona had a different idea. They wanted to privatize. Di ba? So, kasi ba you have two categories eh. Yung, three. Yung katulad ng PGH that nasa under UP. Then you have yung katulad ng Heart Center and Lung Center na may board yan. Di ba? So it's a GOCC.
Yes.
Then you have yung completely under the DOH. Di ba?
Yes.
Oh, so, we can propose yung pinapatakbo just like yung sa Heart Center. But wala sa budget nyo yun. But hindi ko napupuntahan yun.
Mr. President, that requires an enactment of law to create a GOCC. So we will wait for that. If that's the pleasure of the legislature, we will implement
that's true when you create, but you can build the facility na. Then that can follow.
We'll have to have the basis.
I'm informing you can.
Mr. President, the DBM will not fund us for something that has no enabling law.
No.
So,
you're wrong
hindi ko
there.
malalagay yun.
Kausap ko si SECMI na nun. So, halimbawa sa Taguig, if we have half a hectare and ilagay mo sa budget a Taguig Heart Center, you can build it. Now, if you want it to be a GOCC...
Hindi kami ina-allow, Mr. President. They don't allow us, and they'll put that, they'll ask for the enabling law.
Ang DPWH nagbi-build ngayon sa Laguna Lake na ang tingin ko balak nilang gawin toll road.
Mr. President,
loyo.
can I explain?
Yeah,
That's why we
sandali.
passed the...
Dito kita kasi 30 years na ako sa legislature eh. Sinabi din ng DepEd yan dati, pag walang batas, hindi ka pwede mag-build ng school. O, anong ginawa nila? Nung una, 1998 pa. 1992 pa ako na sa gobyerno eh. Magbi-build sila ng annex. Tapos mag-annex, papas ng law. So I won't argue with you there. But if for example, pwede mag-amend yung senador eh. So if Senator Robin secures 2 hectares in Camarines Norte, and then he puts their building for hospital, DPWH will build, but DOH standard. Then he can pass the law later on. Or he can give it to the province. Yun yung sinasabi ko, Sec, na diskarte at usap-usap. Bakit? May law ba yung sa Clark?
Yes.
Ano yung law doon?
Regional Specialty Centers Act.
Oh.
So we used when the Regional Specialty Centers Act was
Yeah, so you answered
passed.
my question.
Correct.
So if you build someone under this act, then later on we separate it. Hindi pwede yun?
The question was a GOCC hospital like
Yes,
Heart
sir.
Center. So I said, Mr. President, I need
President,
an enabling law to create a GOCC.
Mr. President, listen to me. I'm talking about the building. The GOCC is how to run it. So when you build it as a regional hospital, we cannot pass a law within the 2 years bago matapos to make it run like lung center. And if we don't pass the law, you cannot run it as a regional hospital?
We can, Mr. President.
Oh, so yun ang point ko. Diskarte, Mr. Secretary. Di ba? Diskarte. Kasi importante yun sa Pinoy because nga hindi perfect ang ating sistema. Di ba? So, because of the time limitation, I had slides. I showed you this in 2023 when you were confirmed. Na different kinds of, you can show a few, different kinds of health centers. I saw you inspecting, and of course, natuwa ako. But how many primary health centers have you actually inspected? More or less. More or less.
Well, if you're asking in my lifetime, when I was undersecretary, I was tasked to follow up all the health center projects in the area that's
as
connected
secretary,
to me.
di ba before you went
As
abroad
secretary,
a few months ago, may
As secretary, when we discovered that there were super health centers that were completed and not yet functional. Then I started going around.
Yeah, how many?
Siguro mga naka-apat na yata. kaming
Apat.
nabisi.
Out of ilan na binibuild during your term?
These were the building started in 2021. They started
No.
building super health centers in 2021. The highest numbers were built and budgeted for like about 4 billion was in 2022 and 2023.
Yeah. So, Mr. President, what
they,
I'm saying
they
is
have
that
completed about, Mr. President, about 500. And only 200 super health centers are functional.
Okay.
There are 312 that are completed but still not functional. And then there are 300 more that are still in the process of
So
construction.
of the 4 billion ngayon for primary health centers, how many of them have you personally inspected? None.
Yung mga nakita kong
No, no,
tapos,
no.
I asked
No, sir.
I
Sir,
personally visit the ones that were completed
sir.
because my targeted approach was to make the facilities that were completed functional, Mr.
Okay.
President.
Let me put context, pretext ha. Nagkagulo doon sa Ghost Project sa Bulacan, nagkagulo, nagmedia kayo, pinakita nyo na tinutubuan na, eto, meron pa pala sa health, etc. You have 4 billion this year for primary health centers. How much did you have last year? 3 billion, 4 billion?
About the same. Yes.
About the same. So of that 8 billion primary health centers na ginagawa, how many of them have you inspected personally?
I don't inspect health centers because I have a unit. I have an undersecretary that's supposed to do the inspections,
So,
Mr. President.
I'll say muna, dapat ini-inspect mo yan. Okay. Bakit dapat? You have a unit na nag-i-inspect. If you have a unit na nag-i-inspect, bakit ka gulat na gulat dun sa sinabi mong tapos na pero hindi nag-ooperate? I saw your interviews eh. Well, in a good sense, you were outraged na yung isa, was it in Marikina, na tinutubuan na ng halaman, etc. Dapat binabantayan nyo yun eh. Di ba? Kasi ang kaibahan sa, let me finish lang, Secretary ha. So far, maganda pa ang ayos natin. Yung DPWH, flood control, walang ibang naglagay yon kung hindi sila. USEC, ASEC, Regional Director, District Engineer. Pero ang classrooms, nasa DepEd ang project niyan, tapos nag-momowa yan. So dapat ang DepEd, binabantayan nila. Same sa DOH. Ang pondo niyan, wala sa DPWH, MOA yan. At meron kang Regional Director sa bawat lugar. At sabi mo nga, may USEC ka. So dapat hindi ka gulat na maraming hindi ginagamit. Kasi dapat consistent yung reporting unless media stunt lang yung pagpunta doon to show people na umiikot kayo doon. Di ba? So bakit kayo gulat doon? Or para sa camera na lang yan?
Yes, Mr. President, I promise to visit all the primary care facilities under construction.
Mr. President, you can do random. You can just visit yung hindi. What I'm saying, sir, is that nagulat ako, naggalit ka doon. So for example, yung isa natiwangwang ng 1 year, no? All of us who've been in local government or them pala, local government din ako, vice mayor at saka konsehal. And all of us na matagal ng senator, like Senator, except Senator Ping, pero siya nag-inspect din siya nung una, kaya nga nakita niya maraming anomalya sa amendment insertion, kaya nga in his career, ayaw niya na may ganon. Okay? I'm correct, no, Senator Ping? Di ba? So, but ang point ko, all of us na nag-amend at naglalagay, so pagka more than one phase yan, tinatanong na namin sa DPWH, kailan yung phase 2? Para hindi matiwangwang at tubuan ng kung ano man yung nandun. Di ba? So if sabihin nilang, sir, mahirap makakuha ng multi-year sa DBM at saka DPWH. So ang ginagawa dyan, so if it's a 200 million building at sabihin na, sir, kahit lagyan mo ng 200 million this year, hindi matatapos, lagyan mo 100 million. Pero next year, lagyan mo ulit ng 100 million. So, kung on the third year kung ilalagay, hindi ako magugulat na tinubuan ng mga halaman or whatever doon. Kasi ako ang hindi naglagay nung second year eh. Diba? So yes, DPWH should have the diligence. But whoever you put in charge, the USEC, until the grassroots nyo, dapat nire-report sa inyo. Sir, patapos na to. Diba? If we're clear there and we're okay there, I'll go to another issue.
Yeah, Mr. President, I'm clear with that, and we will monitor closely as you suggest. But the reason of that media release that I visited and uncompleted, because my own team told me that that was a completed health center.
Yes.
Of course, when I get there, yung pala completed phase 1. So now I'm getting reports that get to me are sanitized, and you're correct. I should be visiting them.
Thank you.
Kasi nga yung pala completed phase 1. Hindi pala teka muna.
Yes.
So
I appreciate the humility, sir. But yun nga sinasabi, kung kulang team mo, bahala ka na. Appropriate naman hindi naman pang fire yun kung miscommunication. But what I'm saying is that hindi dapat sila nagulat na completed first 1 kasi ang budget natin is yearly. So kung alam mo naman matatapos, let's say, ng August 2026, nasa budget mo na for 2027 yung completed, di ba? So, but we're clear there, so let's not, I won't quibble with you there, I won't, ang intention natin dito, mapabuti yung health, hindi yung tayong dalawa mag-argue. Next question about that, bakit nagugulat din po na yung ibang natapos, hindi nagpro-provide yung mayor or governor ng health worker? So, I'll just show this to you. No? Can you go to the next slide? So I had this done by a friend who does our urban planning. And the price, actually, sa ganda nito, the price is similar to what you said. No? So he made 3 klase. Isang 280 square, next. Isang 462 square, isang next. Okay. And then, nasa taas kung ano yung basic. Tapos ito yung add-ons, no? Okay, ito yung add-ons yung sa ilalim. Nilagay niya yan kasi sabi niya sa akin, Senator, pag may humingi sa'yo na mayor or governor, barangay captain, whoever, ibigay mo to. Kasi huwag kang magsisimulang gumawa nang hindi sila nangako ng personnel na ilalagay nila. Kasi madali yung structure at equipment pero mahirap yung tao. And dalawa yung issue sa tao. One, may pera ba yung LGU for that? And yan, makikita mo na sa budget nila. Kasi if it takes 1 to 2 years to, ipapakita nila budget. Sir, naglagay kami for specialist, for doctor, whatever. The second one is yung ibang LGUs, you know better than me dito kasi kayo nga nag-handle ng doctor sa barangay. May iba, may plantilla, pero wala talagang pupunta sa lugar na yon, di ba? Walang available. So, next slide. So, what happens, meron ng space requirements na standard, galing pa to, galing din sa inyo, galing din sa DOH yung standards na yan. And then, may space requirements, kasi let's say, pag Super Health Center, sa Taguig po nag-umpisa yan kung hindi ako nagkakamali. We have 4. We called it Super Health Center for 3 reasons. One, first reason, it's open 24/7. So our ordinary health centers are open the usual hours, but our super health centers are open 24/7. Okay. 2, just like before, may lying in. Pero we didn't separate it na. 3, sa buong 24 hours, may doctors kami. At we have 1 or 2 now, may DOC, doctors on call. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., the doctors will go to the house pag may tumawag para hindi na sila doon. Of course, we're privileged to not only have the finances, but to have the professionals available. So that's why sa mga luma naming ginawa, yung sinasabi ko with the hospitals, no? We have a new hospital, Taguig General Hospital. We have an old hospital, the Taguig Pateros Hospital. Mahirap talaga mag-renovate. I understand you, pag regional, you're talking about building an extra building, but even when it's integrated, no? Same thing sa barangay health centers, yung gagawa, yung DPWH na walang standards. Ang dami naming health centers, nung tinurnover ng DPWH, hindi sinunod ang standard ng DOH. So we had to redo it, So next slide. I just want to show, sige, go, bilisan nyo na lang. Ayan. This is an example of the basic outpatient diagnosis primary care unit, di ba? Next slide. Yan. So halimbawa, ito yung checklist. So may checklist para sure, pag you said small, medium, large. Huwag ka hihingi ng large na wala kang ganito. So yun ang question ko po. What happened? Bakit may nagagawa ang DOH tapos hindi pinapatauhan?
Ang analysis namin dyan, maraming factors. No? Number 1, before they request, before it's even built and budgeted, we sign a memorandum of agreement that they will hire. Pero pag natapos, kung minsan iba na yung mayor, ayaw mag-hire, or kung minsan sasabihin ng local chief executive, hindi ko naman hiningi yan binigay na lang sa amin yan. So, they don't have the money to fund the health workers. So, nagkaroon kami ng bagong proposal. Sabi namin, sige, yung tao nyo na lang dun sa lumang health center, ilipat natin dun sa bago. Kasi sayang eh. And then we'll repurpose the old one.
I appreciate, sir, that nire-remedyohan nyo yung present. But in all future na gagawin nyo, diba? Can we have a commitment na one, yung ratio nyo between primary and tertiary, pag-aralan nyo, kasi nga, priority ang primary, pero nasa secondary, tertiary. Secondly, pag gumawa nga ng primary, may tatao. Whether it's from DOH, if it's a third class, or it's from them, no? Of course, it's legitimate kung sasabihin nyo, sir, gusto namin lagyan primary, pero walang tatao. So gagastusin namin secondary, tertiary, di ba? But I don't think that's the case. Di ba? Kasi so far, wala namang nakikita, mayor, na wala talagang malasakit sa lugar nila eh. But yun nga, it's either miscommunication or akala nila pag ginawan mo ng health center, tayo din ang magtatao sa kanila, which is not true kasi devolved nga yung services, di ba? So can I just ask you for a commitment that, for a system for the new health centers na ganon? So you're gonna submit an annex no, for 2026 ng mga gagawin?
Yes, kailangan submit yun,
sa
Mr.
lahat ng
President.
gagawin nyo for 2026, vetted na yon na tatauhan talaga nila.
Yes, Mr. President. So I commit
Okay.
to.
So just one, umahaba, so tapusin natin PhilHealth, but one issue lang sa vaccines, no? So where is the problem sa bidding? I think we've accepted in our 3 or 4 hearings na procurement. Anong problema sa procurement?
Ang nakikita ko, Mr. President, is that there's usually a protest. There's, the other bidders. It's always a competitive bid.
Yeah, but Mr.
So
President,
nagkakaroon ng, and these bids are huge. It's like $1 billion, 500 million to a billion pesos. And the competition is really, talagang laging nag-uuwi sa protest, sa complaint, and then that drags on kasi either ika-cancel, i-rebid.
No, Mr. President,
so that's the delay.
Mr. Secretary, I understand that. I've talked to mayors, to secretaries, etc. Okay. But eto, kung hindi problema ang procurement sa DOH, I don't expect you to know procurement systems because that's why you have people for that. Kaya ka nga may back-end, etc. Pero kung during your whole term, and let me emphasize, nabanggit ko UNICEF, and they're wonderful, and all around the world, they're being used to, may fee lang, but they're being used, diba, to not only purchase, but deliver the vaccine. So, don't get the wrong impression nung binanggit ko yung UNICEF. But since may problema nga kayo, shouldn't you know and study and find a solution sa procurement? For example, Sec, do you know how long it is to procure? So from the time you have the specs until the time of bid, more or less gaano katagal yun? It's okay if you don't know, but I just wanted to make a point.
Right now, ang umaabot is 3 to 6 months.
Okay, it only takes 35 days.
Dapat, by law.
From the day that you, chinart namin yan, kasi nga nagkakaproblema din kung saan-saan, okay? Okay. Yung mga protest, etc., sorry but to hell with them kung mali sila. Kung tama sila, may problema ka sa back, papalitan mo sila. Kasi hindi mawawala, negosyo yun eh. And may pera yung mga yan eh. Di ba? And there are good pharmas, but there are pharmas, we know that. Doctors know that na grabe ang pera. Di ba? But that's where kailangan ng konting, kung paano mo ako inaangasan last time at paano kita inaangasan last time, na may tama at may mali tayong dalawa, dapat ganun yung angas nyo sa mga nang loloko sa bidding sa inyo. Di ba? Mag-bid kayo fair and square. Pag nanalo, nanalo. Kasi
for the record, Mr. President, I wasn't galit last time. I was just tired.
Okay.
So hindi ako nagagalit. Talagang pagod na ako ng 12
ako
midnight.
Nagalit sa so, but anyway,
so, hindi ako nagagalit.
It's better for our health to talk this way than that way. So I thank you for that, Secretary.
So na-discover ko tong delay in procurement of the vaccines last June. And since that time, nagpatulong ako sa World Health Organization. So WHO sent me a very good technical expert, siya yung bumibili ng mga vaccines. Pag
That's
may
wonderful,
outbreak.
pero sa impression ko, you need a bouncer eh.
That's what he did. Actually, we after that, nagkaroon kami ng committee, na-create kami ng parang bouncer na council at natutukan lahat ito.
No,
so, ang
what I
na-delay
meant
lang...
set by bouncer to slap people around eh, yung mga nanggugulo sa bidding nyo.
So,
I'm curious. whether it's internal, medyo may gustong kumita dyan, or kung maayos sila lahat pero sa labas may gustong manggulo, it's too big an issue.
Ako na po yung nag-bounce, sir. Pinalitan ko lahat yung, as you suggested, ginawa ko po yun.
Katulad sa HPV, di ba? Sa HPV, di ba? School-based na yung pagbigay nung di ba? Binigay yung first vaccine. Meron, nung meron pa rin vaccine resistance Kinausap magulang, etc. Hindi dadating on time yung second dose. Tapos pagdating, near expiry, ayaw na nung parents. So, and then ito ang problema. Joel said that yung lady behind mo is really good in communications and she used to be a courtside reporter, etc. So, sabi ni Joel Villanueva, but ito point ko, Sec, ang sabi sa akin ng mga mayors na tinawagan ng team namin at sarili namin health, kulang kayo sa communication. And I'm not blaming your regional directors kasi they also don't know daw what to say. Sabi, wala pa, zero stock, etc. Hindi nila alam sasabihin So, diba? So, kung nagka-problema, bite the bullet, i-announce na lang. Hindi dadating, I'm not talking about a diaryo announcement. I'm talking, diba? Kasi kung kayang bumili ng, as you said, yung iba pwedeng bilhin ng local government. Ang problema, hindi to emergency purchase. So, they need to fix the papers which might take 1 day to 30 days and then 35 days yung bidding, then may delivery time pa. But if you tell them ahead of time, may problema sa ganito, and then prioritize muna namin third-class municipalities, pero kayo first-class or cities kayo, bayaran nyo, it's not the best solution, but it's better than yung sitwasyon ngayon na marami tayong zero stock na bakuna.
Yes, Mr. President, and we have no zero stock na now. No? The only zero stock is pneumococcal and influenza, but they will deliver in January. So with the consultant from WHO and the technical working group we created, na-cover po namin ang deliveries ng 11 of the antigens, 11 of the 16, kasi we deploy 16 antigens. So meron na tayong stocks ngayon. So the next step is distributing them to the different regions and the health center. So I think I'll announce it here na dadating na yung mga bakuna na binili namin, pentavalent, MMR.
Itong OPV vaccine, Hepa B vaccine, flu vaccine, pneumococcal, PPV 23, HPV, MCV, BGC, meron ng stock kasi as of the time I made this brief 2 days ago, nung chinecheck namin sa ibang regional directors, no stock daw.
Mr. President, may mga deliveries ako ditong November. So
okay.
yung
so I'll stop there.
I counted 11, meron na tayong
but
stock.
I think I get your point, you get my point. But can we endeavor that next year, March, April, may flu vaccine? You're allowed din, di ba? Yung tawag doon sa procurement?
Early procurement activity, EPA. So we're doing that also.
Okay.
So in fact, ang nangyari, because na-delay yung flu, Mr. President, we only lessened the amount to buy for 26, kalahati. So we will have a lot. We will have
And Mr. Secretary, you have a special provision sa JA allowing you to advance, di ba? Payment sa vaccines, unlike other procurement, wala. So may advantage kayo. Baka yun ang isang reason na maraming nagbibid kasi nga may bayad kagad and everything. But that's supposed to be an advantage to you din. Hindi. Kasi nga nakita natin, pag may shortage in the world, kung sino munang magbabayad. And for example, yung mga bansa na mga sultan at hari, they can pay right away. Iba proseso nila sa mga may kongreso, di ba? That's why we put the special provision.
And Mr. President, ang isang solution namin sinuggest is to put this in either multi-year contract, is one. So parang 3 years, total binibili natin every year. Para hindi na tayo nagbibid every year, ibibid mo yung 3-year supply, tapos isusupply na lang nung mananalo yearly. So walang delay. Pangalawa is also what's called the framework agreement. Pagka may additional kang kailangan, mag-deliver sila ng additional pag may outbreak kami. So yun yung two solutions na palig naman ang DBM.
I'm listening, Sec. I'm just pressured sa time. One comment na lang dito, tapos last issue, PhilHealth, and I'll try to shortcut dyan. Dyan lang sa no billing, zero billing. But actually, sinave tayong dalawa ni Dr. Edwin Mercado. Because he told us yesterday, kaya nila yung survey by February. Okay? So, hindi ko na itutuloy yung 1 week. Hindi na tayo mag-argue, but February, ayos na yung survey and pag-usapan na lang natin in a few minutes yung no billing.
Yes, we will help, Mr. President.
Sige.
I'll make sure PhilHealth
Okay.
delivers by February.
So, I just like to recognize Lionel Tangkangko, co-convener, Malusog at Matalinong Bata Coalition. He met me last year after we brought up that stunting. Yung first question sinagot mo, di ba? How do we monitor that? But yun nga, please submit na lang to my office and I'm happy to work kung sino man sa office mo. So, itutulay, kasi itong mga nampantulay sa PhilHealth. And I don't know if Dr. Edwin wants to answer himself or ano, but basically ang tanong is, pag tinulay natin sa PhilHealth, because Secretary, kaya karamihan ng mga senador, everyone who spent a lot of time on this, Senator Risa, Senator JV, Senator Bongo, Senator Pia, everyone who's been active sa PhilHealth the last 2 years, and even the Senate President and Senate President Pro Temp in their past, even my father dati, because nga, pagka maayos ang PhilHealth, 50-60% ng trabaho ng Secretary of Health madali. Di ba? So, ang tanong nga dito, bakit, ano yung programa ng PhilHealth sa Yakap Konsulta Package sa mga pregnant? Meron na ba? Kung meron, isubmit nyo na lang. Or, sige sir, if you wanna answer. Para marinig na rin ng mga ano natin, ng ating mga pregnant.
So, papa-expand pa lang. According to President Edwin, we'll expand. But we have a program for our Disease Prevention and Control Bureau, yung maternal care. So, may budget din tayo doon sa DOH. So, for the pregnant mothers, and yan yung micronutrients. Yun na yung kasama sa first 1,000.
Let me shortcut na lang, sir. If we encourage now and through the media, lahat na nalaman nilang pregnant sila to go to the barangay health center, pwede bang kung makitang may problema sa nutrition, malink siya kung saan siya makakakuha ng whatever. At hindi yung pang that day. 'Di ba? Kasi nga, paano kung talagang sobrang poverty or 6 na yung anak at wala talagang makain? Can they refer her to DSWD for AIX or for food stamps? You know what I mean? A conscious effort na, parang OFW OFW, when me and Yusek Sara here was in the DFA, nung unang punta namin doon, sabi, paano pag napauwi yung OFW? Pagka-claims ho sa ganitong department, pag-skills ho sa TESDA, pagka-scholarship ho sa CHET, mahihilo eh. Di ba? And katulad sa DSWD, MAIP, TUPAD, etc., the sad reality is talaga, although meron porsyento na pwedeng ma-access, sabi nga ni Senator Lacson, bakit may padrino? I'm using the word Senator Lacson padrino, but you were saying nga na parang nagagamit sa politics or in our words, padrino system na kung makalapit sa congressman, mayor, senador yung tao, o yan, may AIX ka kagad. Yung food stamps hindi, kasi nga diretso. But we have to have a system from the barangay health center na pag nakita na nilang may danger dun sa mother, whether it's any kind of health danger o yun nga, baka yung nutrition, how to refer them. It's not going to be easy. Di ba? It's not going to be easy, but that's how we can make a dent. No? So, may I ask you I'll more than willing to host you, Sec Rex and Sec Sani Angara and whoever are acting DBM Sec, but we have to have a system like that.
Yes, I agree with that. Thank you very much. We will do that exactly as you suggest.
So, guarantee letters, angal ng mga ospital, 6 months to 1 year, is that a very few or is that prevalent pa rin? Ano ang speed ngayon ng pagbayad ng, and you can ask your staff here kasi baka mas
my average now is about 3 months from the time they claim. Kung minsan nagbabalik-balik yung papel, Mr. President, kasi may kulang na documentation. Ang hirap sa amin ay yung NCR because NCR has parang ang daming hospitals na they have to liquidate and check. So nadidelay talaga sila ng 6 months. So ang pinakamatagal ko is NCR because of the number and this is my request, yung maipip kasi, only 2% of the fund can be used for administrative. So hindi kami pwedeng mag-hire ng additional people to, to repay the hospitals.
That
na kailangan.
happened sa AIX, and our chairman is not here, but he's diligent on that. So, Senator JB, ikaw din naman ng health, baka pwedeng from 2%, 2.5 or 3 kung kulang kayo sa tao. But may I request na may hotline yung mga hospital owners to one USEC or hindi? I mean,
Sa RD po, Mr.
RD.
President, yung regional director ang nagsasign ng kontrata with the hospital director.
Maybe,
So,
okay. Can you issue na lang siguro a memo to the RDs? Kasi nga, on one hand, pag masyado matagal, they have to complain kasi magsasara eh.
Correct.
On the
We know
other
that.
hand, parang BIR
Oo.
na ayaw mo rin minsan mag-complain kasi lalo kang pinag-iinitan eh.
Cost of money.
Not sa RDs but yung sitwasyon eh. Okay. One more issue on hospitals. I'll give you I won't say the name, but how old was he? 21-year-old national athlete na nakakalungkot talaga. Pero medyo humble ang socio-economic niya, humble. Tinakbo sa ospital, hiningan ng deposit. So pagdating niya dun sa ospital na walang deposit, patay. So it still happens. So we'll give you the name of the hospital and everything, but it's...
Yes, we have our licensing bureau, and if
Yeah.
there are complaints like this, because we have a no deposit law.
Yeah. So,
And if it's an emergency, dapat
Agree.
walang deposit.
Doon ko nga ililink yung isang tanong ko na sa PhilHealth hindi covered ang outpatient na MRI at saka CT scan. Covered na?
Sabi dun sa outpatient emergency benefit package. So, dinagdag na nila yun.
So meron na?
Oo,
meron
meron
na, sir.
na po,
Okay.
sir.
But can the DOH buy more MRIs and CT scan? Kasi kahit na meron, the reality is puno parati sa lahat ng government hospital, and then mas mahal talaga sa public. And then does our public hospitals have yung CT scan na pwedeng may ink, yung para sa heart?
With contrast, yes, they do. Most of
Meron
the
na rin.
CT scans, meron na.
Oo. But kulang, no? Kulang.
Kulang, madami talagang pasyente. But most of all our DOH
And I
hospitals
understand
need CT.
it's not like bilhin lang yung machine kasi yung room and everything. But ang point ko lang, in the same manner that the DOH in the last 10 years tumulong sa mga dialysis center, whether private or public, so ngayon medyo mas komportable na yung sa dialysis. Sa MRI at saka sa CT scan malayo pa. But eto nga tanong ko, actual experience ko to pero matagal na, 10-15 years ago, tumawag sa akin middle of the night, pare, samahan mo ko dito. I won't name the hospital na. Very good hospital. Kasi nakasagasa ako. Samahan mo lang ako. Pinuntahan ko. Tapos, nag-argue siya with the hospital administrator dahil ayaw i-CT scan. So tinanong ko lang, ma'am, hindi ba pagka life or death, hindi pwedeng humingi ng deposit? Sabi niya, yes. Tapos sabi ko, so ba't ayaw niyo CT scan? Sir, diagnostic yan eh. Sabi ko, ma'am, nasagasaan eh. So paano mo alam kung life or death kung hindi mo, And I'm not a doctor. And that was 10-15 years ago where PhilHealth was less, etc. But what's the rule there? Para lang alam ng mga tao. No? So pag may ni-rush sa hospital, let's say they whether they think it's a heart attack or whether nasagasaan and yun, meron silang yung CT scan with contrast. Can the family say na i-test yung ganon or?
So that's my line. I'm an emergency doctor. So what happens there is we the doctors are trained to decide whether a test is needed or not. So for example, nag-crash, nasagasaan. Kung walang loss of consciousness, hindi sini-CT scan yun. Pero kung may loss of consciousness, whether may pambayad siya or wala, isi-CT
but
scan
like in the
namin yan.
case na sinabi ko, and this long ago.
So Mr. President, yung nag-request yung relatives or yung patient,
Ito,
pag
sinabi
sila
ng doctor,
nag-request, babayaran yun. In this case, yung nakabangga ang magbabayad
Yeah,
nun.
no.
Kasi request yun yung nabundol.
Yes, in that case, ang doktor nagsabi, dapat i-CT scan siya.
Then dapat
Hindi,
CT
sinabi
scan.
ng hospital administrator eh.
Ha?
Hindi siya life threatened. Hindi
Uy.
ang diagnostic. No, this was long ago.
I don't think that's right. Because if I'm the ER doctor,
Yeah.
makikipag-away ako sa administrator.
So, para lang, kasi nakikinig yung publiko no? So if anyone is rushed to the hospital and the attending doctor says it's life-threatening, anything diagnostic, hindi pwedeng humingi ng deposit. Kailangan gawin ng ospital.
Yes.
Yes, di ba?
Dapat.
No, I'll clarify kasi di ba, pagka ordinaryong sakit, mamimili ka ng ospital. Di ba? Kung gusto mo sa private, napakamahal, gusto mo sa public. Pero pag life-threatening, yung pinakamalapit can save your life.
That's correct.
So, in the years of change and development sa DOH, may policy na kayo na pag life-threatening, unahin mo yung buhay. Kasi, kwentuhan namin ng ibang senador yesterday, yung life-threatening sa US, nasa kwarto na, bago sabihin, may insurance ka ba, may pambayad ka eh. Sa atin, minsan, pagpasok pa lang, tinatanong na, may pambayad ka ba or may ano ka. So, pag life-threatening, sir...
I agree, Mr. President.
So, the only point I want to focus on dun sa tell me if you agree or disagree. The reason why pinupukpok namin yung survey is because whether you use... So, now you're using the case. But before that, you were using the...
Service, Mr. President.
Fee for
service.
Yes, and bringing up ni Senator Legarda yan when they passed the amendment, yung universal health nung law nung 2019, no? So whether you're using that or you're going to use the new one is the group DRG
or groupers.
Okay, you mentioned Thailand and US.
Yes.
Okay, but what is the main difference between Thailand, US, Philippines in terms of billing and patient care?
Yung case rate, estimate lang of a disease, like say pneumonia, isang estimate lang, isang bayad lang. Yung grouper or disease-related groups, pneumonia, viral, pneumonia in the elderly, pneumonia, hospital-acquired. So mas specific siya.
Yes.
So mas accurate yung bayad sa hospital.
Yes.
So mas matutuwa yung mga hospital sa
Okay,
DRG.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Tama po kayo dun sa different systems of billing. Pero ang kaibahan ng Thailand, America at Philippines, sa Thailand at America, gagamutin ka muna, then ibibill ka. So katulad sa Thailand, may 100 baht, libre na lahat. Under certain conditions, parang sa atin na certain conditions, then makakalabas ang pasyente. Ang pinag-uusapan lang natin doon, how they bill the government. Same thing sa US, even in private hospital. Kahit turista ka, gagamutin ka nila, tapos ibibill ka nila. Di ba? Ang Pilipinas hindi. Pag pumunta ka ng hospital, tapos hindi, halimbawa, ang case rate, whatever, ng PhilHealth is 80,000, pero 120,000, hindi ka gagamutin. Yun ang kaibahan.
Not entirely correct. I think what you're describing, Mr. President, is the private hospital. Kasi sa government, whether it's DOH or LGU, pag pumunta ka, gagamutin ka nila.
Ngayon. No, I'm talking about the procedure, ha?
Yeah, basta if they have the procedure, gagawin nila yung procedure.
So if the procedure
in fact,
is...
ang nangyayari, nung dating hindi
sorry,
zero
sec.
balance...
Yeah, sorry sec. Ngayon kasi no balance na.
Zero balance
Yeah,
na.
zero balance na. Okay? But ang point ko is that's why I'm focusing on your survey pangbayad. Kasi nga, like sa private, di ba? The closer we are to their fee, more sure tayo na pwedeng pumunta na yung pasyente doon. Because nga, kulang ang government hospitals. That's why I was asking you
That's
the best.
correct.
Just to emphasize, I won't ask that na para matapos ako, but and nakakaya din sa AFP and DND. But that's why I was going to ask you is to emphasize that kung marami tayong government hospitals, walang problema eh. And nagpalakpakan talaga tayo nung sinabi ng President, i-implement. Matagal na sa batas yun eh, hindi i-implement. But until we have that in February, kasi di ba ang private, voluntary sila eh. Di ba? Hindi sila required by law na pagka indigent, zero billing. They have to join it. And why not join it kung tama yung presyo? Di ba? Pero kung ang presyo hindi, syempre magkakaproblema sila. Tama, Sec?
Tama, Mr. President. In fact, may mga hospitals nagbibuild ng PhilHealth ward.
Okay.
At sasabihin nila, no balance.
So, if you go to PGH or any other government hospital at puno yung ward, anong remedy nung pasyente?
So I've asked my hospital directors to have a tie-up with 2 or 3 private hospitals, and then gagamitin namin yung charity beds, and then we'll just pay the hospital.
Sige. Last 2 questions.
From the MAIP.
So if puno pero may bakante na one level up, hindi ba pwedeng gamitin yon?
Pwede. We can actually allocate the pay ward, but still get a patient there. Alam na kung bakante siya.
Yes.
If there is no patient there, and then nasa emergency
Are
siya.
they doing that now? Nasaan yun?
Yung ibang hospitals ginagawa, and that's a hospital by hospital policy. But this is a good suggestion, Mr. President. Pwede kong i-circularize para lahat ng
Actually,
DOH
it's not my
hospitals
idea.
Yeah.
It's in your 2017 circular ng PhilHealth. That kapag
yes.
puno, level up. But I don't think,
Correct.
well, 2017 kasi 8 years ago na rin eh. So,
We can reiterate that. I can issue that to the hospital directors
eto
themselves.
po, in any instance that a ward-type accommodation is not available, it is the provider's responsibility to make the next higher accommodation available to the patient, for the patient at no cost. No?
The rate of the charity bed of the
Yeah.
ward accommodation. Oo.
Ano to?
Mr.
PhilHealth,
President,
ano to?
ginagawa namin sa PGH
I don't know
when I
if
was in
2017
PGH.
dito sa kabilang briefer ko 2017 dito 2015-0031 and then may administrative order 51-2000.
Yun.
But take a look at it. I know naman, for example, PGH, pati naman yung pay nila puno eh. So some it's irrelevant, pero some it's relevant. Baka lang matakot yung admin nila na tapos hindi sila makasingil. 'Di ba? So maybe an reiteration of that rule. Okay.
Good suggestion, Mr. President. We'll do that.
Do you have money for research?
5% of our budget is supposed to be allocated for research.
So supposed to be, but it's not, or it is?
We do. We have policy research, and we also have research that we
So more or less,
we
sir,
give to the
magkano?
Philippine Council for Health Research and Development.
More or
Kasi
less,
ang-
magkano?
hindi ko alam yung exact amount.
Yeah, please, yung sa
But
finance.
we actually transfer some of our research funds to PCHRD at
Yeah.
DOST.
So-
Kasi meron sila by law to retain the grant. Kami, after 1 year,
Yeah.
expired
No,
na.
and
So
we
kung-
have incredible, I trust whether you use UP, whether you use yung binanggit mo.
NIH, we use NIH
Ito
also.
lang kasi ang question ko. Since I was born, and matagal-tagal na rin, 1970, ang namulat kong sistema, when you go to a private hospital, is the bigger room you get, lahat mas mahal. Okay.
Correct. Ang private hospitals po, may 3 levels yan.
Okay.
Pag ward ka, ward rate. Pag single room, single room. Pag suite room, parang business class sa aeroplano. Oo.
Yes, okay. So, but ang kaibahan sa business class sa aeroplano, libre na yung yung pagkain, yung entertainment system, di ba? Ito, bawat ang blood test mo ng ward, iba sa blood test mo ng private room ng suite. Okay. Ang dahilan na binigay ever since I was born is to subsidize yung charity. Okay. So first question, is someone monitoring that? Na bawat taas nun will actually redound to the charity ward.
Actually, yan yung kaya kami natatagalan because I also chair the benefits committee of PhilHealth. So dito namin hirap na hirap ma-improve yung benefits to the case kasi ayaw i-rebuild ng hospitals.
Okay.
Especially the private, their levels of rates.
No,
We know
I
there's a level.
I don't blame you for that. That's the system. Kinamulatan na natin di ba? But that's why nga may activists, that's why nga may nag-ano ng change. So ito, next question ko. Has anyone done a study, apples to apples, of another country that has the different system? Kasi nagulat ako sa Singapore. When you go there, nakalagay talaga, consultation, ganito, tapos ganito yung fees. So, tinanong ko kasi Pilipina naman yung nurse. Sabi, sir, dito iba. So, marami din Chinese at saka Malaysians na nagpapadoktor doon. Ngayon, maraming Indians. Sabi na, sir, ang suite dito, $8,888. Kasi maraming royalty ng Malaysian dito. Ang charity, ganito, ang ganito. Pero kaya namin nilalagay yung fees ng doktor, saan man siya ganon. So tinanong ko, blood test. Ay sir, pumunta ka ng nakalagay doon, blood test, kung 100 Singapore or 50, lahat ganon. Di ba? So, sabi ko, meron palang alternative. Di ba? So, I don't know and the doctors can freely say the fee, di ba? So, kung sasabihin nila ang consultation ko 200, 400, di ba? But to say na pag ganito mas mura, okay yon. Okay sa akin yung parang ang fee ko talaga is 500 pesos. Pero pag mahirap, 0 to 100 pesos, di ba? May ospital pa tayo na pwede magdala ng manok, I think sa La Union, di ba? They can bring their goods. It's a really good model. But ang point ko po, kung yun ang sistema sa hospitals and it's not working for us, I brought this up sa UP board. Can someone do a research and can we see, is it really the best for the Philippines, di ba?
I agree, Mr. President. We can use some of our research study to do exactly that. In fact, we need that to really implement universal healthcare. Kasi nga, kasi ang nangyayari sa universal healthcare, pag nagtaas ako ng PhilHealth benefits, nagtataas din ng professional fee yung doktor. Hindi mababa na naman yung aking, yung out-of-pocket support value ng PhilHealth.
No, or worst case, Secretary, if we find na okay for the Philippines tong sistema na to, may requirement, may regulation kung ano yung kanilang charity.
So, Mr. President, let me get to how we can do this. Pwede gawin yung suggestion nyo. Yung professional fee, actually sa PRC yon. In fact, you feel you overcharge, you can go to the PRC and complain the doctor.
Actually, I never, alam mo naman, basta't health, never ka naman nagrereklamo sa, except kung walang-wala ka, di ba?
That's true.
But sa akin, it's more of, yun nga na, yung hugot ko dito kasi, yung alimbawa talagang may sakit ka, tapos gusto mo ng konting privacy, may konti kang pera. I'm talking about middle class or lower middle class. Kaya lang nga, hindi sila makaakyat from the ward because lahat tumataas eh. Tapos hindi rin pwede sa PhilHealth. But I would assume, papayag na kayo sa paying except for the room kung pareho naman lahat ng fees. Diba?
Yes.
Kaya ang DSWD at saka ang PhilHealth, hindi kayo pumapayag ng hindi ward because everything goes higher. Di ba? Pero kung sasabihin nyo, halimbawa, yun nga, bypass 800. But this is for XYZ. You want a better room, you pay for it. Basta't ito, papayag naman kayo eh. Di ba? But ang problema nga, pag nag-suite ka at 800,000, magiging 1.6 million, syempre, sasagot ang gobyerno. Why would I pay your 800,000 more?
Mr. President, let me explain the process of how we will do this. So ngayon, gumagawa kami ng tinatawag na clinical practice guidelines. So if you're going to be treated for, let's say, pneumonia, this is for the UHC. Gagawa niya nung society ng clinical practice guidelines. I-adapt ng Department of Health yan, accepted, mayroon na kami mga 30 yata na accepted clinical practice guidelines. Once the CPG is approved, gagawa namin ng tinatawag na clinical pathway. Ano yung cost ng lahat ng mga test na ginawa doon sa guideline na yon. At yun ang magiging cost ng illness. So, kailangan standard yung rate kasi ano yun, immaterial what room you get. Kagaya nga sa Singapore, yung comfort sa suite room, yun na lang ang bayaran mong dagdag. But the fee should be the same. Yung hematology, chemistry, x-ray, CT scan, isang rate lang lahat yon.
Yeah, I don't mean to ruffle feathers sa hospital tsaka healthcare industry. I mean, for example, yung bagong ospital ng Ayala that really lowered the price sa cancer.
Cancer.
Of course,
cancer.
PGH tsaka Vicente Soto is much,
correct.
20 years ago. I'm just saying, tingin ng better system. So let me do just last two things. One, apologize to the media that our confrontation today was not as explosive as they were anticipating, but I think our debate is better today than last time. Secondly, galing to sa staff ko, just a reminder to all of us, no? Sabi nila dito, middle and lower class, but I think it's applicable kahit sa pinakamayaman. You're one illness away from poverty. It's just a good thought, but yun nga po, babalik ko dun sa stunting. Pag may stunting ka, may illness ka na eh, or not scientifically, but you know what I mean. So, dear colleagues, Mr. President, thank you for this opportunity, and I hope lesson sa atin dalawa that we can do much more together, Secretary. Thank you po.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. President.